NYIT is a community service of the New York Institute of Technology.
Covering the news of Nassau and Suffolk County's Long Island News Tonight with Ken Eckhart, Carol Peck, and the award-winning LI News team.
Good evening. I'm Ken Eckhart, and here's what's happening. Osama bin Laden is dead, and President Barack Obama says the world is better and safer because of the death of the al-Qaeda leader. Speaking at the White House, Obama said bin Laden's death shows the United States has kept its commitment to seeing that justice is done. Jody Goldberg has more.
For many Americans, President Obama's address to the nation showed the strength and power of what we stand for.
The United States has conducted an operation that killed Osama bin Laden, the leader of al-Qaeda, and a terrorist who's responsible for the murder of thousands of innocent men, women, and children.
It's been 10 years since the tragedy of 9/11 that took the lives of thousands of Americans and shook our nation. According to Rich Rotan's, a first responder who had to dig himself out of the rubble, finding Osama bin Laden was a major accomplishment for those who have fought tirelessly for the past decade.
It was comforting to know that the murderer that killed all these people and is continually killing people around the world, Madrid, London, so on, put some closure to it.
And people we spoke with say it's not about how long it took, it's the fact that bin Laden is finally gone.
It's a great day for America.
I was tremendously relieved when I saw that this guy had finally been nabbed. It's about time.
It's kind of like, wow, really? You know, it's been a while, so let it sink in and accept it, and it's good. It's very good.
While the president says killing bin Laden will disrupt al-Qaeda, it will also impact our security.
There's no doubt that al-Qaeda will continue to pursue attacks against us. We must, and we will, remain vigilant at home and abroad.
However, this man says he can't relax just yet.
Bottom line is, whether he's dead or not, there's somebody right below him that's going to take over for him, and they're going to do the same thing.
In Jericho, Jody Goldberg, LI News Tonight.
There's a team of elite American forces who killed bin Laden during a raid at a compound in Pakistan where the elusive terror mastermind had been hiding. Officials say Navy SEALs retrieved bin Laden's body, and DNA testing offered nearly 100% certainty that it was in fact bin Laden who was killed. But rather than making Americans breathe a sigh of relief, his death has some fearing retaliation. Elsa Gillis has more.
The news of Osama bin Laden's death comes with great excitement, but it also comes with great fear, as security officials say the fight against terrorism is far from over.
I think it's a good thing, but we don't put our guard down because there's still a lot of part of that serpent that's out there that wants to kill us.
Last night, President Obama said there is no doubt al-Qaeda will continue to pursue attacks against America. And Frank Otto of the Applied Science Foundation for Homeland Security in Bethpage further confirmed this, saying retaliation will certainly occur.
And now we have to expect that there will be some kind of retaliation, unfortunately, because that's the world we live in today.
According to Reuters Online, some Islamic militants are already hinting at retaliation. They're reporting messages from an Arabic language forum that reads the following. Oh God, please make this news not true. God curse you, Obama. Oh Americans, it is still legal for us to cut your necks. But despite these scary messages, officials we spoke with say all we can do right now is stay vigilant wherever we go.
You never know. Any place that's got people in it is a target. The best thing the general public is the old saying, if you see something, say something.
Otto says he feels U.S. security has developed a good system over the past 10 years that will hopefully help with further attacks.
I think there are technologies that are coming up through the system that are now being introduced into the world, in surveillance in particular, facial recognition, camera type of technology that's going to help a great deal as we move forward.
But despite these new technologies, he continued to emphasize we cannot let our guard down.
Well, my biggest fear right now is that people will tend to relax and think that now that we've got them, it's over, and it really is not over.
In Bethpage, Elsa Gillis, LI News Tonight.
In other news today, a second suspect has now been arrested in connection with the murder of a man in Freeport. Police say the 23-year-old victim was shot several times and killed back in early April. One suspect, 19-year-old Nolan Gogler of Mineola, was arrested after being seen fleeing the murder location. And now a second suspect, 23-year-old Gerard Plowden of St. Albans, has been arrested in connection with the same crime. Both men have been charged with murder, possession of a weapon, and robbery. The identity of the victim has not been released by police. Nassau County detectives are investigating the shooting death of a woman found slumped over the wheel of a parked car. Police say the shooting victim was discovered early yesterday morning along Merrick Road in Lynbrook. She's been identified as 62-year-old Maria Ayala of Hempstead. Newsday reports she had been babysitting two grandchildren over the weekend and left the children with a neighbor saying she was going to run a few errands, then never returned. She was pronounced dead at the scene. A Massapequa Park man has been charged with leaving the scene of a fatal pedestrian death. Police say the 64-year-old victim was crossing Sunrise Highway in Belmore Friday night when he was hit by a car heading east. Police say the driver, 45-year-old Ryan Quinn of Massapequa Park, then left the scene. He was arrested on Saturday. The victim was pronounced dead a short time later at a nearby hospital. Quinn has been charged with leaving the scene of an accident with death. A crash involving two trucks in Ronkonkoma has left one driver dead, the other uninjured. Police say 57-year-old John Gentilia of Center Reach was driving his pickup truck on Hawkins Avenue a little before Saturday morning when he hit another pickup truck at Express Drive North. That driver was pronounced dead at a nearby hospital, while Gentilella was reported not injured. The dead man hasn't been identified pending notification of next of kin. Well, it was a down day on Wall Street today. The Dow finished the day down a little over 3 points. NASDAQ was down about 9.5 points, and the S&P was down 2.33 points. NYIT's LI News Tonight continues after this.
Hula hoop your way to good health at Girls Night Out at the East Meadow Public Library on Monday, May 2nd at 7 p.m. You'll need your own hoop. For more information, call 516-794-2570. See a screening of the film Almost Famous at New York Institute of Technology's D. Seversky Center in Old Westbury on Wednesday, May 4th at 5:30 p.m. For more information, call 516-686-7567. Discover your passions with a retirement coach who will help you use them to begin a new course in life at the East Northport Public Library on Wednesday, May 4th at 7 p.m. For more information, call 631-261-2313 or meet the Four Musketeers at the Chelsea Mansion Renaissance Fair at the Muttontown Preserve on Saturday and Sunday, May 7th and 8th from 12 noon till 5 p.m. For more information, call 914-664-2733. If you have an event you'd like included on the LI News Tonight community calendar, send it to linewstonight@nyit.edu.
Press play to start your future. Learn the industry. Use the technology. Become an expert in television reporting, journalism, radio, digital film, public relations and advertising, television production, digital graphics, a beautiful state-of-the-art campus, a road to the job you've always wanted, in the media capital of the world. Communication Arts at NYIT. When can you start?
In news around the world today, Saudi Arabia says it hopes the killing of Osama bin Laden, a former Saudi citizen, will boost efforts to fight terrorism. An official Saudi statement today expressed hope that bin Laden's death will be a step that supports the international efforts against terrorism. It added that the Saudi people in particular were targeted by bin Laden's al-Qaeda, which once had an active branch in the Desert Kingdom. A member of a prominent Saudi family, bin Laden was stripped of his citizenship after he criticized the royal family's reliance on U.S. troops to protect it after the Iraqi invasion of neighboring Kuwait. Rumors reported from Libya say Muammar Gaddafi's forces are preparing to use chemical weapons in their fight to regain control of the city of Misrata. According to a Libyan activist, rebels have requested the interim council in Benghazi to send a shipment of gas masks. Gaddafi's forces brought their tanks back to the western gates of Misrata and shelled the besieged town throughout the night and into this morning. Hundreds have reportedly died after 2 months of fighting in the city of 300,000 that is the sole major rebel bastion in the west of the country. And France's Air Accident Investigation Agency says an undersea search has located the flight data recorder from the 2009 Air France flight that went down in the mid-Atlantic. The black box was reportedly localized and identified yesterday morning, including photos of the recorder, a red cylinder partially buried in the sand on the sea floor. Investigators hope that the black box will help determine what caused the June 2009 crash of the flight from Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, to Paris, killing all 228 people on board. The bulk of the wreckage was only recently discovered in a deep-sea search. Well, there's a belief that young people may make a greater effort to avoid getting into trouble if they understand the kind of punishment they could wind up facing if they're caught. Zavera Titler reports.
These students from Westbury Middle School are using this bus to go on a field trip, but they didn't have to travel very far. And that's because the field trip they're going to is right here inside this bus.
Character. It's all about what you will do when someone is not watching, and less about what you will do when someone is watching.
It's called a choice bus, and it's been used all over the nation to keep kids from dropping out of school. That's why half the bus has been transformed to look like a jail cell. And according to program director David Heber, because 75% of inmates are high school dropouts, seeing this jail replica might be the wake-up call students need.
But it's really about awareness and allowing students to see the possibilities of making good choices, but the consequences of making bad choices.
And in the other half of the bus, students watched a video to see how bad decisions today could affect them in the future.
$7,000? $17,000.
You're too beautiful for that. Think better.
The bus is designed to encourage students to stay in school, and hopefully the message hit home. And before students got off the bus, they were given this pledge card as a promise to themselves to make the right choices now that they have a better understanding of where they could end up if they don't. I'm Zavera Titler for LI News Tonight.
Well, after some morning sun, skies turned cloudy today with some scattered afternoon showers. Today's high was in the low 60s. Tonight, showers expected late with a low in the low 50s. Tomorrow, cloudy skies, a high in the low 70s. Wednesday, scattered thunderstorms with a high in the upper 60s. Thursday, partly cloudy, high in the mid 60s. And the outlook for Friday, mostly cloudy with a high in the mid 60s. And that's it for NYIT's LI News Tonight. I'm Ken Eckhart. Thank you for watching. We'll see you again tomorrow. Have a good night.